Hi, and welcome to my demo on how to use algebra tiles, virtual algebra tiles to multiply and divide polynomials. This is the mathclips.ca algebra tiles. I think they're the best, especially for what we want to do. There's a couple things I tweak. First thing you want to do is there's a few sets of tiles. You obviously want to choose the ones that have these tiles that we always use. The second thing I do is these are the lines we use for our left and top edges, so I changed their color to black. And Y we just ignore because we don't use Y. And then down here, to make the tiles look the same as they usually are, our X's are about 5.5 times as long as our 1's. So I changed that to about 5.5 and 5.6, whatever. It's going to look about right. Okay, so I'm doing 3 times x minus 2 because that's the same thing I have on your instruction sheet. And step 1 says draw the left and top edge of the rectangle and then measure the lengths out. So one of my side lengths is going to be x minus 2, so there's my x. And there's 1, and I need one more 1. So I'm going to hit this button here, that duplicates it. And then I'm going to highlight both of them. See, they're both purple, and change those to negative. Okay, and then the other length is 3. So I'm going to pull this guy out. This guy's going to rotate him so he's up and down. I'll throw him there. And then I need 2 more of those. And they're positive, so we're done. And ideally, to make it the same as we do on paper, I'm going to label that as x. That's a negative 1. That's a negative 1. That's a 1. That's a 1. That's a 1. There we go. Okay, so step 1's done. Step 2, complete your rectangle with tiles. And remember, algebra tiles are always based on length times width. So here we've got 1 times x equals x. So I'm going to pull out an x tile, chuck it there, and now I'm going to have 2 more of those. So I'll just copy those and throw them where they belong. And now I've got 1 times negative 1 is going to be negative 1. So I'm going to pull out a 1 over here, change that to negative. And now I'm going to need 6 of those. So I'll copy that 6 times and chuck these where they belong. There we go. Okay, and now we know that the number of tiles we had is our answer. So we've got, what do we have there? We've got 3 x's, and we've got 6 negative 1's. So I can either write it as 3x plus negative 6, or that's the same as 3x minus 6. There we go. So there's our question, there's our tiles, there's our answer. Okay, and now let's do the dividing side. So this is 3x minus 6 divided by 3. Notice I had to use a bunch of minus signs for the divided, but you guys can figure out what that is. Step 1, count out the tiles that you're dividing. In this case, 3x minus 6. So I'm going to come over here and count out my 3 x's. And I'm going to have negative 6. So make that negative, and then make 6 of them. There you go. Yeah, that's 6 of them. Perfect. Okay, step 2. Draw the left and top edge, and use the algebra tiles to measure and label the number you are dividing by. So in this case, we're dividing by 3. So I'm going to measure out, I'm going to measure out 3 as one of my sides. I'm going to measure it out as the left side just so stuff fits better. So there's my left side of 3. Obviously my top edge is going to be here, but we don't draw anything in yet. And now we need to use our tiles to build a rectangle where one of the sides is 3. So I'm just going to pop these guys into here to build my rectangle. Oh, something else I'll show you is, see here, both of those are purple. Oops, I made 3 of them purple. So I can make these 2 purple, and then they move together. So that's just a little trick to help stuff move around better. And now I'm going to label my top edge, so I know I've got an X there. Oops, that's not in the right spot. I've got a -1 there, and I've got another -1 there. And again, let's label this up. There's my X. Those are my 1s. And these guys are -1s. That kind of looks like a sideways T. Let's fix that up. -1. Perfect. And you guys remember that our answer, it's not going to let me change the color. I wanted to change the color so I could circle it in a different color. Anyways, you guys know our answer is up here. So obviously that is going to be x plus -2 or x minus 2, depending on how you want to write it. Done. So that's how you use these great math clips virtual algebra tiles.